And here we are at week 4. We are right at the front of the build. This is just the start. They're just doing the footings and columns for our pump room. In here we'll have our pump and our filtration system for the house. It's just a little box that's going to be right at the front there, and on top of it will be a water tank. We're going to drop a new well just to the side of that. And out the back here, this is the opposite corner, they're still digging out our septic system. We've still got a long way to go there. It's really hard going. As you can see, they're just framing up the extensions to the columns because, as I said before, we're going to have extra high ceilings, and they're doing a lot of cross beams both along sides and back into the middle as well. So the whole structure is basically designed to be earthquake/typhoon safe, and there is just so much rebar going into it, so it's certainly looking quite solid. And as you can see, the roof is quite high. It's a little bit deceptive because the floor line is actually going to get raised probably about 50 centimetres higher than what it is. And this is, again, it's a filtration room, pump room, the footings all fully set out. And Donna's there inspecting them. Yep, all good. And that's sitting right at the front of the house. And like I said, the new well we're going to put over is just to the right of there. We do have an existing well which is right back over straight through there, but that's just going to be for the farm going forward, and we'll have our own well just for the house. And hopefully we can get some nice pressure, and having the tank up so high on top of that will give us some good pressure. So we may not need a pressure tank or anything like that. As you can see, they've framed up those cross beams, and they're so high. It's been raining most days, so the work's been reasonably slow this last week or so, simply because they can't climb. They can't climb. It's really almost as high as a 2-story building, but they just can't climb when it's too wet or when it's raining. If they're doing work down low, they can do that in the rain, and they do. They keep working in the rain, but not when they've got to climb. And as you can see, these inner columns there, they're actually quite a bit bigger than the outside ones. That's because these inner ones on either side of this line here, and the other line going up towards that one there, they're holding 2 roofs. They're going to hold the roof for the middle section, but also that'll be the roof for the outside section, because our roof's going to be split up into 3 sections. Being the outside sections will have a roof, and then the middle section has a big roof over the top. Pictures look great. It's not to words away, but you can just see the amount of rebar sticking out. The amount those bits sticking out, that's just the tie-in. The hollow blocks, when they put the hollow blocks in, that'll just tie the hollow blocks to the columns. The hollow blocks themselves aren't load bearing, they're really just a wall. But because they're tied into the columns, they do have a bit of strength. Looking through there, that's going to be our second and third bedrooms in there, with this bathroom in the middle on that side. So all taking shape quite nicely. And even when the engineer did it, like an estimate of how long it would take to build, he basically said it could be up to a year, because this time of the year you just don't know. You could lose months. Literally could lose months, because if it keeps raining, there's some things they can do, but they can't do others. And as weeks go on, they've had further problems, which I'll go into in a few weeks. But yeah, it's all looking good. Still quite happy with the progress they're making. There's the septic tank. It's all quite wet and slippery walking around here. As you can see how high it is. It's actually, they set up a level, about eye level there, and then there's another level up top. And the septic tank's getting deeper. It's going to be a three chamber septic tank. It's split up into three. Everything we've designed and done with this house, in terms of comparing it to a lot of the local type builds, is really way over engineered, but that's what we wanted. And it's going to be as nice as what you could expect in most places. When you see the finished result. Yep, still a bit more water. And I said most of the water sitting there is where they've been mixing concrete, or mixing cement rather, to make concrete. So there's really no problems with, you see on the outside of the build there's really no water sitting around. It all drains pretty nicely. All that fill there they've done with the septic, that'll end up inside the house. Most of that will be used to fill up bedroom number 3 at the back there. Yep. Basically they'll seal all that and be fully blocked in with hollow blocks, and that'll be all sealed up so that nothing will leach into the surrounding soil. But yeah, it's interesting to see all the scaffolding that they set up. Meanwhile, just turn around and this is the backyard, which is our farm. Or basically what I show is our farm. It's only a small part of it. That's piggery. There's one pig in there at the moment. That's the greenhouse, which is the old lady that sold us the farm. She still lives there, and the pump is just there. And that's the road that's on the left. Road going past. There's no problem being that close to the piggery. The piggery doesn't smell at all. We clean it every day. Pigs smell of a pig. Just got a piggy smell. There's no foul odour or anything like that. It's all nice and clean. Got all these little palms you see growing right in the centre there. They're dwarf coconuts. We planted 120 of them a little while ago. Here's some of the rebar that they haven't used yet. They just go through so much. There's so much steel inside the structure. So basically the structure is all steel and concrete. There's basically going to be 2 pieces of wood in the whole thing, and that's 2 doors. Yeah, door facing this way, and the door to the pump room will be wood. I think that's the only bit of wood in the whole structure. This is on the farm side, so this is a little bit of water there, but that's, given the amount of rain that has had, that's really nothing. It's not a problem. I mean, you might drain it off somewhere anyway, because just to the right of that is where the land drops off. All these dwarf coconuts you see everywhere. In a few years, they'll be producing. They're mainly good for the where you cut them open and drink the water. They're not as good for the copra that we sell. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them on the big grid on this side, and it's back this way, and we've got the chickens over that way. But anyway, this is a fantastic backyard. Who could not love a backyard like this? And I've kept this grass here, so I think that'll be kept anyway. And just on the left where we haven't cleared that's all going to be gardens, and once we're there full time we'll start making some gardens. But it's all coming together nicely, so keep watching. The next few weeks will come out really soon.